Oh, 1 second. Okay. Alright, I'm good to go whenever you guys are good.
I'm ready.
Alright, let's do it. Let's play some Super Mario All-Stars. And kick it off in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Super Mario All-Stars, a collection of the first 4 games in the Mario series released all on the NES. They packaged them all together with a few changes here and there and put it on the SNES as kind of one of the games to get you to buy a SNES, as if there wasn't already a whole bunch of good ones to begin with. So starting off with SMB1, I've already gotten a 6 on the timer, which is what you don't want to do, as it gets you 6 fireworks. But one thing I will mention is I will donate $1 for every single firework I get during the run. So there's $6. So there we go. We're already off to a good start. Mario 1 is pretty similar to its NES counterpart. There is a bit of a difference with hitboxes. They kind of just work a little better depending on how you look at it on the SNES version. A lot of NES SMB1 runs, you see people looking at them and they wonder how the runner isn't getting hit. But that's because the hitboxes are very, very small. But they're fixed a lot more here in the All-Stars version, which does lead to a couple of differences in some strats. But overall, the game runs pretty much the same. Mario handles about the same. All that kind of good stuff. So 1-3, I'm going to pick up a power-up here. It is faster, as on the NES version, to kill Bowser with fireballs as opposed to jumping on the axe. So we'll see how many of those I can pull off. Sometimes I get a few, sometimes I don't get any. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's always an enjoyable trip. Also does make the run a little safer. If I take a hit, I don't instantly die. I'll just lose my power-ups, so... Alright, 1-4 is the first Bowser stage. Pretty straightforward. Just some fire bars to deal with. Not too bad. Alright. Thought I was going to run into the lift there instead of jumping over, but that worked out. So you saw how the bridge didn't fall down. Saves about 2.5 seconds, depending on how fast you get the kill, for every single one you do. So, over the course of a Warpless run, since you fight 8 different Bowsers, it can save a lot of time. Oh, dang. Didn't quite make that jump. That's alright. Alright. So spring at the end of this stage, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Ah, of course, there we go. Alright, and you do also always want to get the top of the flagpole. That's kind of one difference, is how flagpoles work. There's some fancy maneuvers you can do on the NES version in order to kind of clip into flagpoles. You can't do that on the All-Stars version, so it is always faster to grab the top of the flagpole. Alright, moving into 2-2, the first underwater stage. Probably... The 2 underwater stages are probably some of the most stressful, especially if you don't have fire, as you are pretty much at the mercy of a lot of RNG. All these bloopers, all these cheeps, all kind of spawn and do whatever they want. You kind of just have to react to it. This nerd. Okay, we're cool. Alright, not too bad. Alright. Actually, I'm going to jinx it right now by saying I'm handling stairs fairly decently. Stairs are some of the hardest things to actually do quickly in this game. Since the controls are a little sticky, it's sometimes hard to get those jumps when you need to. 2-3 is a stage where cheeps will kind of jump out at you, and it's actually a lot easier just to go through the stage straight on, but I do need a mushroom here before 2-4, so luckily I didn't get punished too hard. Those cheeps can sometimes spawn really nasty places. Oh, that's another 6. Thought I could get the 7. That's alright though. That's $6 more. Alright. Watching that Podoboo. That one likes to jump out very, very quickly again. Oh, nice fire bar. So I want to make sure I don't lose the fire flower I just spent a whole bunch of time picking up. Alright, that was a good fire kill. 239 is okay. We'll take that. Alright, moving into 3-1. This is kind of one of the stages that graphically looks a lot different than it does on the NES. They kind of gave it a nice snow palette, so. Also, the first appearance of Hammer Bros, which will show up multiple times throughout the run. And hopefully not give me too much trouble. Here's the infamous Infinite Life staircase. If you've never played this game before, you can kind of position yourself correctly to get infinite lives off of those Koopas. I think we got a 3 there. So 3 fireworks. I think we're up to 15. I'm going to hopefully keep track of this. But if I do miss some, let me know. 3-2, pretty straightforward stage. It's pretty flat. There's not a whole lot going on in it. But there are a lot of enemies on the ground, so you kind of have to plan your jumps well so that you don't take a death like that. I did get the halfway point, so didn't lose a ton of progress. Let's wait for that guy. I don't remember where the power-ups are in this stage. I think I've passed them. That's okay. There was a moment right there where I decided if I wanted to give $6 more or take the time loss. I went the greedy way and didn't take the time loss. So re-grabbing this mushroom in 3-3, there's a fire flower in 3-4. That's kind of a lot of how things go in this, is if you do take a hit, there's usually a mushroom in the -3 stage. Oh, there's 6 more. Alright, we made up for it. So many fireworks. You can usually grab a mushroom like in the -3 stage and then grab the fire flower in the -4. It does take some time to grab them every time, but usually is worth it, at least in my opinion. 3-4 is a stage that is very, very difficult on the NES version, but it actually gets quite a bit easier on the SNES version because those Podoboos you see go super high up into the air. Normally those Podoboos only go about half of that. Oh, I hit the block, dang. Well, there you can see the bridge falling down. So normally those Podoboos go a lot higher on the All-Stars version than on the NES version, so it's much more difficult to navigate through them, but it's actually pretty straightforward here on the SMAS version. So I was hoping to keep my fire as we move into 4-1, because this is one of the stages where the different hitboxes really make a difference. Normally on the NES version you can kind of just jump over these piranha plants and these pipes, but since their hitboxes actually work how they're supposed to, you can't clear them. If you do have a fire flower, you can just jump over them and then shoot a fireball to kill them. But since I don't have fire, we just kind of have to wait on them. Still a pretty easy stage, especially if you know where to jump and whatnot. Oh, another 3. I'm getting so many fireworks. That's okay. Was that 24 now, I think? I think we're at 24. Alright, 4-2, probably one of the most infamous stages in the entire speedrun. Luckily, this is warpless, so we don't have to worry too much about doing any wrong warps or anything like that. You can actually just get all the way up top here and just run across. Do have to be careful that I don't go too far and accidentally go into the warp zone, because this is warpless. It's not too big of a deal for most of these underground stages that you can go over the top of, but there are a couple that you have to pay attention to. Alright. Did get a 1-up from coins there. That's pretty nice. One of the main differences, as we get 3 more fireworks, bring it up to 27. One of the differences that really works in your favor is instead of starting with 3 lives on the NES version, you start with 5. So you have a lot more leeway if you take some accidental deaths to not have to worry too much about game overs. It's 4-3, another stage that looks a lot different aesthetically. I actually really like the look of it on the All-Stars version. It's really cool. Alright. Pretty easy level though. 4-4 is the first puzzle castle of the game. So you have to go specific paths in order to continue on. On the NES version, they don't really make that clear, and you might get stuck for a long time. But as you just heard there, on the All-Stars version, they give you a little jingle when you do it correctly, and they give you kind of a wrong horn if you do it wrong. So it kind of makes it a little easier to figure out, yo, rolling in.
Reassuring jingle, rolling in.
Alright, that was not a great Bowser setup there, so we just jumped over and took the X. What am I doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get it together, come on!
Come on! Alright, gonna take a star here in 5-1. Just kind of makes this whole area not difficult at all. 5-1's pretty easy. 5-2 and 5-3 is where it kind of gets a little wonky. Yo, we got a firework. Blazing it again.
Blazing trees!
It's actually about the same amount of time to get 1 firework versus wait to for it to go down to 0 to not get 1. So if you're going to end up with a 1 on the timer, you might as well just take it. There is one stage where, if done optimally, you'll end with a 1 on the timer. But, oh no. Alright. Luckily, I can just use the iframes to get through that part. Some pretty decent bro patterns, so I'm alright with that. Alright. 5-3. I have a lot of history with 5-3. This is a kind of a rehash of 1-3, except they decide to throw some bullet bills that spawn randomly in the mix. Some of them will just pass over or above you really easily. Some of them will get right up in your face. I like to call them,
you son!
I like to call them the bills of questionable intent, like that one right there. Okay, we're good. Oh, okay, that one's fun. All right, it's a couple gnarly ones, but all right. Overall, 3 more fireworks. What are we at? 28? I think we're at 28. Alright, 5-4 is a kind of extra difficult version of 1-4, or 2-4, excuse me. So they add in more fire bars and whatnot just to get in your way. But the overall strats are pretty much the same, kind of depends on how your fire bars go. Okay. Bowser getting cute with me. Alright. Not too bad. Alright, 6-1's another Lakitu stage. Just gonna kill him right now, because whatever. It's not too hard to get through it without having to worry about anything. That's kind of one of the things is Lakitus, if you can run fast enough, they really can't do anything to get in your way. And because I bounced on the Lakitu there, this is the stage that normally you end up on a 1 if you do it optimally, but the little bounce off the Lakitu made me lose that 1 in-game second, but it's all good. 6-2 is a stage focused primarily on piranha plants and pipes. Fortunately, I lost my fire there. I can actually go through the stage quite a bit quicker by being able to just take him out, but that's alright.
I got a few donations actually, whenever I can read them off.
Yo, go ahead whenever.
Cool. Well, we got $11 from Mayhem Maddie, $1 per pan. Crack and choose the incentive. He's still here. I'll hit him up. Raccoon Dog earlier donated 500 bits. Green Ham donated $50.
Whoa!
Says fuck
Whoa!
cancer and kill the animals. I want to see where's that bib we're at now.
Oh! What is happening? Alright, we're good.
Alright, kill the animals is going to be about $80 a head, so...
Oh man.
You know, they were trailing by like 200 earlier, but they're on quite the come up now, so... If you guys want to save them, better, you know, step it up or do something.
Oh, jeez. Alright. 6-4 is a remake of 1-4, but with a whole bunch of extra fire bars. Unfortunately, didn't navigate them quite as well as I would have liked. But we made it. Also, I think I got another firework in the mix there, so I think we're up to 28 fireworks. Yo, the double shot. 2 quick ones. Alright, so 7-1 is a stage where you are fairly reliant on some good bro luck if you don't have a fire flower. I was able to manage that pretty well. Gonna grab this mushroom for safety. And lose it immediately to a buzzy beetle. Alright, cool. Was hoping to have an extra hit to take here in 7-2, which is the second underwater stage, but it's alright. We'll just deal with it, I guess.
Sir Pico popping off with gift subs, rolling deep.
Oh yeah. What is this about? Okay. What? I still hit that cheap. Dang, dude. Alright, whatever. Yes, I think I hit the midway point, so we're all good. What is this blooper doing? Get out of here. Alright. Just lost $1 billion there, no big deal. Alright. We're out. That's what matters. So now we're moving into 7-3, which is a remake of 2-3, except they've thrown some extra Koopas. Usually isn't a problem, but if you get a bad cheap spawn, it can actually run into the Koopa and turn the Koopa around, and you kind of have to react immediately, otherwise you're going to take a death. Yeah, we got 1 coin there. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh, we got more. Okay, it's over. Alright, nice and easy though. So 7-4 is the second maze kind of castle. But it's a little bit more going on. You kind of have 2 different sections that have 3 spots you have to hit. And then you get another pretty tricky Bowser. Just gonna wait for him to jump again. Alright, we're out. Not too bad so far. think, what, 1 death? That's fine. But all that can change in World 8. They absolutely crank the difficulty up when you get here, so we'll see what happens. They also decided to take away all the midpoints, even though these are the longest stages in the game, so you have to do all of them in one go. This is another stage where the hitboxes on Koopa or on Piranha Plants actually being what they look like do have a bit of a downside in this version because you can't quite clear them as easily as you can on NES. Alright. We'll take a 174. For being small Mario, that's okay. Alright, gotta pick up a safety shroom right here. If I carry it to the end of this stage, great. If not, that's okay too. This jump is kind of tricky. You have to have some speed when you make it, otherwise you just don't have any chance. Yeah, we had a setup there. It's actually funny, you can't clip into the flagpoles, but you can do the bullet bill glitch. Unfortunately, on the All-Stars version, if you do the bullet bill glitch, it just soft locks the game. So you'll get the glitch, but then you won't actually beat the stage. And that was 3 more fireworks. I think that brings it up to 31? Something like that. These pros kind of suck. These pros kind of really suck. Dang. I was trying not to take a hit. I should have just gone in there. But you can pick up a mushroom and a fire flower here. I'm going to try to do that in order to take it into 8-4. And also deal with the end of the stage a little easier. Dang. Alright, we're going to have just a mushroom. So we'll have an extra hit available, but that's it. Alright. Bros were pretty nice at the end there. And we're moving into 8-4. That was the worst staircase of my life, but all good. So 8-4 is a stage that has a whole bunch of pipes, but only one of them leads to the next room. So you kind of have to just find the right one. I say that as if nobody's ever played Super Mario Bros. 1 in their life. Gonna do a little trick here where we go into a pipe that's supposed to lead back to the beginning, but doesn't because we scrolled the screen far enough. There's a really far turnaround, but it's okay. Better to be further back than too close. Don't like what that blooper is doing right now, but we'll deal with them. Alright, one more room. Alright, see you later, Bowser. So as soon as you hit the X or do whatever is the last input of the run, you move on to the next game. And the next game is Super Mario Bros. 2, The Lost Levels. We're rolling in with my man Luigi. So this game was only released originally in Japan as Super Mario Bros. 2. We'll talk about the game that we in the States and elsewhere got instead later. But one interesting thing about this game is that you can play as Mario or Luigi, and they have different physics. Luigi jumps a bit higher, but also accelerates in both directions a little slower. So there's some strats that's a little easier as Luigi, there's some strats that are a little easier as Mario. The 2 times for each characters, they're separated. They're both pretty close. I think Mario is slightly faster. But it's not a huge time swing one way or the other. So most players go just with the player they're more comfortable with.
Hi.
Yo, what's up? Is that Lawson?
It might be.
What's up, dude?
Not much.
Welcome.
Good. Congrats on the Mario 1.
That was actually pretty solid. I'll take that.
It was pretty decent.
I had a ton of fireworks, but that's okay.
Yeah, I heard there was like 31 or something.
Yeah. It's all for a good cause.
It's true. It's true.
All
So
right.
have we talked about bus stations or?
We haven't yet, surprisingly enough. If you want to talk about them, you can go ahead.
So you can only gain or lose time in this game in what is it? 21 frame increments.
Yes.
Because at the end of a stage, the game basically waits until a 21 frame rule will play out. The best way that, and honestly, I believe we're legally obligated to compare it to this, is to think of it as a bus station. In that, we just want to make it on, the fastest bus station. We can make it there on the first possible frame or the 20th possible frame, and we'll save the same amount of time. So.
Yeah, the only stage where that doesn't matter is 8-4 since it ends on the frame that you touch. But every other stage in both SMB1 and SMB2J all go in 21 frame increments. So there's sometimes you can do things a little bit worse but still end up on the same frame rule. And other stages you have to be very, very precise if you want to hit the absolute fastest one.
Yep.
Alright. So there's a fire kill on Bowser again. I don't get a whole lot of those in 2J because this game's impossible. So
yeah, I'm honestly I didn't know there were actually fire flowers in this game. I've never actually,
Yeah, there's definitely much less power-ups in this game, and they hide them in very interesting locations. So it's pretty difficult to have a fire flower, much less keep it.
Mm-hmm. I like to basically this game is a bad ROM hack of Mario 1.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
It's definitely one of those, like, if you thought of like some of the worst Mario Maker levels you've seen, they made it, years before Mario Maker was even a concept.
I did get a 6 on the timer there, but the way fireworks work they work a little differently in 2J. They're actually based on your coin count. So the last digit of your coin count and the last digit on the timer when you end will decide whether or not you get fireworks. If they match, and they're an even number, you get 6 fireworks. If they match and they're an odd number, you get 3. So it doesn't happen very often in 2J, at least not to me, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky. But I know a lot of the top runners will like specifically route out how their coins are going in order to avoid them. I kind of just find out what happens when I get to the end of the stage. So 2-2, I don't like this stage at all. It really sucks. But it's almost over, so that's good.
I appreciate the 22 coins for 2-2.
That was totally planned. I totally knew, exactly what I was doing there. Actually, that is something else to bring up. If you happen to have if you have a multiple of 11, so if you have 22 coins, if I would have ended with a 2 on the timer, it actually gives you a 1-up, and then also gives you the fireworks. So, it's a little extra thing here. 2-3, another stage like 2-3 in SMB1. As long as you're running fast, Cheap Sheeps shouldn't give you any problems. They definitely still can, but they shouldn't.
Occasionally, they'll bonk one of the walking Koopas will end up turning around.
Yeah. Yo, I totally planned that. I totally planned to get 33 with the 1 on there to show you guys getting the 1-up. There it is.
Yeah.
And I'll get 3 fireworks.
Well, there it is.
There it is. Alright, so that's 34 fireworks we're at now.
Did you explain the backwards jumping?
Not yet. I'll get to that. Oh, I didn't despawn that guy.
Basically, in 2J, in Lost Levels versus Mario 1, it is a little bit faster if you are facing left when Luigi grabs the flagpole.
Ah, dang.
I don't know
Alright, we're out.
exactly how much faster or why it's faster, but I just know it's faster. So
The animation of going down the flag is a little faster.
well, there it is.
When you normally grab it, Luigi will turn to the other side before he drops down, whereas he will, if you're grabbing the other side, he just drops straight off. And that only actually is a thing in the All-Stars version. In the Famicom version of this game, that isn't a thing. That just, it's
yeah,
just...
that was a bro pattern.
That's a normal bro pattern. I feel like I see that one more than anything else. I'm pretty used to it. Alright, we made it through that little section of 3-1. I don't want to hit this spring. I almost did.
Yeah,
that spring can take you over the top of the stage, but it wastes a ton of time if you're just trying to grab the flagpole like I was, so
Yeah.
whatever, we got there.
And mind you, this is a game that has negative warp pipes in it.
Yes.
Spring might be the most troll thing in the game.
So you can actually end up having to go backwards in worlds. We're moving into 3-2. First underwater stage of this game. Now, normally in SMB 1, you only get kind of sucked down over... That's a good setup. You only get sucked down over the holes, but 2J decides to just kind of do it whenever they want, so you kind of really don't know when it's going to happen until it's happening. They even like set you up to think that that's what's going on with those first two, and then they just throw that all out the window later on. They're just like, nah, we're just going to do it whenever, we don't care.
2J just kind of seems to not have rules.
What is these
Like
enemies?
the cheap cheaps go where they want. Like you just get sucked into random pits. Like it's a whole thing. But you get to play as our boy Ouija, so
You do get to play as Ouija, so that's pretty dope. What is going on with these spawns? Hello?
yeah, these are some.
Okay, whatever. We made it. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Alright. I guess one thing else we haven't mentioned, they kind of made this game a bit easier in order to prepare it for Western release. Because that was kind of the whole thing, is they thought that this game was far too difficult for us dumb Americans.
Which they
Which
probably weren't
they were probably right. But as well as giving you 5 lives when you start out instead of 3, what Lost Levels does is when you game over, instead of taking you back to the beginning of the world you were on, it takes you back to the beginning of the stage you were on. So game overs are much less punishing in this game compared to any of the other games in the All-Stars series.
Yeah, it is interesting to me that it is the only one that does that.
Yeah.
Like every other game on All Stars, if you game over, you go back to the beginning of the world that you were on. So
3-3 is the first puzzle castle, but there's a really easy rule of thumb in 2J. Just find the worst possible path that you would have to take, and that's the correct one. Nice fire bar there.
except for I think is it 6-4 or 7-4 where they are all the worst pattern.
I mean, there's no
Path that you
good
have to
ones,
take?
but there's a definite worst one.
Uh, 4-1. I believe this is where they are introduced. The red piranha plants. The red piranha plants are a little different than the regular green ones that we've seen so far, in that they don't really care if Mario or Luigi is standing like next to them. If you're standing too close to a green piranha plant pipe, it won't come up. The red ones will come up unless you're like directly on top of them. So
Yeah, that's right. You have to be standing directly on top of the pipes. Otherwise, the red perennial plants will just come up.
Yeah.
So, a little trickier to deal with. Okay. Alright, gotta go up top here. This bro is a jerk, but it's alright.
yeah,
I messed up my
nice.
jump, but whatever. We're good.
He was kind today.
4-2 probably one of the easier stages in the run.
Have you mentioned how they air quotes fixed the broken hitboxes?
Yeah, I talked about it in SMB 1.
Okay.
Alright, 4-3 is a stage that exists in this game. I don't really know what it's about, but it's just kind of here. It's same thing. 3-3 is the same way too. Like, it's just kind of platforms in places. There's not really a whole lot else going on in them. I guess this one has bullet bills in it, so that's like a little different. But yeah, we got another one up and 6 more fireworks. Wow. That puts me at 37? Is that right? We'll say that's right. Alright, 4-4 is where the game starts getting real cute with the Dash 4 stages. I would say pretty much all of these from here on out, the Dash 4 stages are very, very tough and punishing. And it's very easy to get in a death loop with these. When I was practicing this, I think I died like 10 times in 4-4, so we'll see what happens. Taking it a little safer this time. Oh, that's a good fireball. Okay. Alright, and we got a good Bowser pattern there. With that, Bowser just puts like a big old stupid wall right in front of him and just says like, what's up, deal with it? But if he walks backward like that, you can jump over him pretty easily. So, alright. Made it out of 4-4. First try. Wow. Alright, rolling into 5-1. This is the stage that you think is going to end, and then it just never does. It just keeps going.
Yeah. Also, because it surprises me every time, because I just never remember it's here. There's wind.
Shout outs
like,
to wind.
Surprise, there's wind. Ooh.
Yeah. I got a little greedy there. Normally I jump over, or on top of the bullet bill launcher over the thing, but didn't make it that time. Oh, what? Jumped too high there. Dang. I think I died like right before the checkpoint too, so have to do the entire stage over. There we go. That's one of those jumps that only Luigi can do. Mario has to deal with that little section in another way.
Easy, easy, every time.
Here's the second bait exit of the stage. Don't worry, it's still going. Then you gotta find a couple of hidden blocks in order to get to the end. Also, nice coin count.
Nice coin count.
I don't think I jumped backwards. I did not. That's alright. Oh yeah, we're out.
Oh. It is also possible as Luigi to get a super jump off of one of those Koopas.
Yeah.
To sort of like basically skip hitting those note blocks. Saves a little bit of time, but it's also really dumb to do, so I don't think Mario can do it.
I don't remember, to be honest. It's been 100 years since I've watched Mario.
Yeah.
I've only really seen Luigi lately. So we're getting on top of 5-2 and just kind of skipping over it because you can see all that garbage going on down there. I don't really want to be about that life, so.
Yeah, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life, to be honest.
Alright. Didn't make it all the way up to the top there, but made it across, so we're good. Well, I thought I was going to get a 4 there. Got the 5, though. Alright, well, it's 5-3. I don't even know what stage it is. I'm sure I'll remember, but... Oh, yeah, 5-3 is this stage.
I don't know, like, I legitimately feel like everything after World 5 is just procedurally generated because I don't remember anything.
It's got the little bonus area and everything.
Bonus
With the hype music. Alright, unfortunately, though, by taking that... Oh, okay. By taking... That was interesting. By taking that pipe, I actually skipped past where the checkpoint is, so if I die, I have to do the whole stage over. Luckily, the rest of the stage isn't too bad, so we made it through. Alright, 5-4 is the stage. This is kind of one of those stages where the game kind of expects you to take your time with it and like try to figure out what's going on, and it makes things much harder when you do that. This is one of those stages where if you kind of do the exact same thing every time and you go as fast as possible, you can make it around a lot of the obstacles. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, like most of the Podoboos and fire bars will normally line up if you just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good 5-4.
Alright, 6-1, on the Famicom version, you can actually clip through that block and go through the pipe, but you can't do it on the SNES version, and that was a bad bro, and I didn't react properly.
Yeah, that was a...
Oh well. Not too much of a time loss from that, so...
one little fun fact, I guess. If you ever get cornered by a bro, because like the bros in this game, this one doesn't really do it, but
some
like,
do, but yeah,
other ones will like go super aggressive at you. If you just like stand in the far left corner and jump like when they're about to hit you, like you'll go right through their hammers. For whatever reason, their hammers don't actually hit anything if they're on the far left side of the screen.
Yeah, they just stop existing. Also, shoutouts to that last...
Despawn that?
Yeah, that guy just bails most of the time.
Alright, Piranha Plant, I guess we'll see you later.
He's like, nah, I'm not about this. I'm out, dude. Alright, 6-2 though is the next and last underwater stage of 2J. It's just as bad as 3-2. Potentially even worse.
Yeah.
Especially when this happens to you. Okay, we're good. Go that way. Go this way. What are we doing? What are we doing at the end here? Okay, this is fine. Alright, not too bad. Alright, that blooper was good. If that blooper swims towards you, he can be a real nuisance, but he was swimming away from me, so it worked out. I will take that 6-2.
Yeah, those were some pretty kind, cheap spawns.
Yeah, there's like one at the beginning that kind of sucked, but the rest of it was fine.
When you get through a water stage with only one like troll cheap, like you take that any day.
You take those.
You take those.
You take those. All right, so now we got another flying cheap bridge. Although this is a level I like to call the reacquisition of hopes and dreams, as you can get a mushroom and a fire flower from it. So we've just reacquired our hopes, and we've just gained back our dreams.
And if you're me, you comment that you just got fire flower and then jump into a pit, as you mention it.
Yeah. Oh, that sheep was... That sheep was spicy, dude. I thought it was over. But hey, we're still going.
Maintain your hopes and dreams.
Yeah. Will I carry this fire flower to Bowser? Absolutely not. There's just pretty much no way it's gonna happen. But, you know, whatever. We like to think it's possible still. Alright, so this is... Nice hammer. Another one of the puzzle stages. Just gotta find the most difficult exit to get to, and then that's the one you want to take. Then you get big boy fire bar right here. There's a platform there, I promise. Yeah, we actually got the fire kill. Let's go.
Yo.
That's a really fun fire kill on Famicom, because you start putting so many sprites on the screen that the game really starts to struggle to figure out what's going on. So you get nice little like glitched scores and coin counts during those.
the HUD just like completely loses its ability to even.
Alright, here's another Luigi only jump. Let's just skip all that idiocy.
Also, shout outs to the wind that again I always forget. Every time I'm playing this, I forget there's wind here. scares me every time.
Alright, so this star mostly is just to deal with this thing at the end, the combination Koopa Bro tag team. But otherwise 7-1 pretty straightforward stage.
Yeah, especially if you're playing Luigi and you can get on top of that, like, piranha plant.
Yeah, that takes out a lot of the difficulty
That
of the
section,
stage.
yeah.
That's
That
pretty much the
section is-
main reason I play Luigi. It's just for 7-1 because it's
Yeah.
awful to not be able to do that.
I think there's a jump. It's either 7-2 or 7-3 that there's a jump that's like that's a lot easier as Luigi. Is the other big reason that I play Luigi.
Yeah, there's a jump at the end of this stage that's a lot more forgiving as Luigi. Oh, I did not expect him to be back, but he's out. All right. Okay. Yeah, we got a 1. That's 3 more fireworks. Brings us up to... Is that 40? I don't even remember anymore, dude. 40, 41? We'll just say 40. Alright, 7-3, a pretty infamous stage. You have to deal with wind and springs and all that good stuff. If you hit the springs well with speed, you can skip over a few of them, so that's kind of the main speed strat in this stage. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Unless you get a no bounce off of a spring, and you just die, because there's nothing you can do about it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It do. Oh, we did it again! Great! Springs are really awesome, and I enjoy how they work. And
Yeah,
they have
springs-
super great mechanics that I'm thrilled about.
Yeah, and they're completely consistent, and
Yep.
you can trust them every single time.
Oh yeah. I was about to say that this might end up being a game overless run, but then I died twice in 7-3 real quick, so we're not out of the woods yet. But we're getting there. Alright, so if I didn't quite hit that spring. If you hit that spring, like, kind of on the exact very edge, right edge of it, with speed, you can actually skip all the way to this platform over here, but it's pretty tricky to do consistently. You have to hit kind of a really good edge, and it's one that is possible with Mario, but is much even tighter to do as Mario, so. But oh well. We're out of 7-3, rolling into 7-4. This is probably my least favorite castle in the entire game.
Yeah, the castle is not great, and then the Bowser is probably the worst Bowser in Mario.
Yeah, like there's a real strong case for 7-4 Bowser to be the absolute worst Bowser in any Mario game. So hopefully I'm going to be able to keep this mushroom all the way to the fight so I can just boost through him, but who knows what'll happen. There's a lot of other crap along the way, so might not save it. You can actually clip up through those blocks to skip past these little fire bars, but if you mess it up, a lot of times you take a hit, and I really want to keep this mushroom, so we're going to take it safe here. But
Yeah,
hopefully in
remember-
8-1 there'll be a clip I can maybe show off. Oh, nice fireball. Can we make this?
The
Nope.
contingency fireball.
Ugh. What are we doing? Get out of here. No, he started going back and I'd already committed. Dang.
Oof.
So yeah, that's just, there's nothing I can really do there. Just never gave me the right opening.
Yeah, and this jump here from this last platform into this little cubby here is also really annoying.
It's way tighter than it looks. I always do a crouch
Yeah.
jump there because for some reason if you are big, it like you can get hung up on it for really no reason. I pressed the B button, which is the button that's supposed to make Luigi ascend into the air, but I guess the game thought otherwise, so whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, for whatever reason, yeah, if you're not crouching, like if you're Big Mario and you're not crouching, there are times that, you know, you'll basically just like not land on a ledge that you're supposed to because the game just decided you should. No.
I should not have risked that, but we did, and we made it. Easy game.
Tonight on a very special, I shouldn't be alive.
It might have also been one of those hammers didn't actually have a hitbox,
Yeah, if
which
there's
does
enough-
happen occasionally.
Yeah,
But I
if
don't
there's
know.
enough hammers on the screen, the game just won't, like, some of them just won't be real because the game just can't handle having that many hitboxes on the screen.
Oh, we didn't get the clip there. That's okay. We tried. I'm sure I'll get one of the ones in 8.4 that makes me stuck. That'll be great.
Hey, there's wind here too.
Yep, just real quick.
There's
Just
wind
so
from,
so you remember it exists.
Yep.
Alright, let's see what this guy's doing. Yeah, he gave me a bad pattern, but we got the mushroom, so we'll just charge on through him here. Oop, I didn't make that block, but that's okay. One's done. 3 stages to go.
And then you get to play a good video game.
I know, right? Now, this has been a decent 2J run, honestly. I've been okay with this one. Alright, 8.2 is a... I don't know if you want to call it a puzzle. It kind of is, I guess. You're supposed to find a very specific block that takes you on a vine that leads you to the exit. And if you don't find it, the stage just kind of continually loops on itself. So...
And it's also super troll because you have to bounce off of that Koopa, and there's a star in one of those blocks that
Yeah.
he jumped, like, the blocks he jumped from to hit that Koopa, there's a star in one of them.
Yeah, so you can get the star and just die. You can also, if you get the mushroom at the beginning of the stage, hit the block you're supposed to hit, or that you're supposed to jump up onto the vine with. They try to do a lot to screw you up with that.
Yeah, no, remember when I said that, like, every bad Mario Maker level you've seen that, like...
Yeah, it's all been done before.
Yeah, no, it was in 2J, like, it was in Lost Levels.
Alright, 8.3 is probably one of my favorite stages. It's just fun, and, like, has some cool tricks in it.
I do appreciate how, like, 8.2 leads into 8.3, like, aesthetically.
Yeah, you get the thing in the sky. Shoutouts to the poison mushroom, which we haven't seen all run. That does damage to you, because why not?
Yeah.
Morale.
Yeah, I think that's why I like 8.3 as much as I do, because, like, yeah, it's just really cool because you're going from, like, you end 8.2 going up into the sky, and then 8.3 is like, hey, you're still in the sky. Like, it's a nice little touch.
Yeah, and it 8.3 is another one of those stages that going through it quickly makes it a lot easier than trying to, like, sit back and wait and figure out where you're supposed to go next. So
yeah, and it should be worth noting the section where he was jumping over the Hammer Bros, there are, like, a couple Kaizo blocks above some of those Hammer Bros.
yeah, I got really close to one of them in order to avoid a hidden block.
Yeah, so, like, it looked like he was just, like, running and jumping over Hammer Bros, but, like, yeah, those were a little bit tighter of jumps than you think they were.
Yeah. Alright. We got the ding.
Yep. I think that's the only puzzle in this.
Yeah, that's the only... Like, you have to go into the right pipes, like the
Yeah.
SMB 1's 8.4, but that's the
yeah,
only spot where you
there's-
have to hit
yeah,
that
there's no
specific
route.
mark. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, we didn't pull a lack attack.
Yep. So here's fake Bowser, our boy. Oh dang, we didn't get past him. We can't pull an I Ate Your Pie. We have to actually not screw up here.
You hate to see that happen.
You hate to see it. This Bowser's kind of dumb too, so we'll see what happens.
Shoutouts to I Ate Your Pie.
Alright, we made it. That was a good run. That
Yeah,
was a
that
good,
was a 29
good
something?
2J. Yeah.
Sub 30.
So 29-10, I think.
Yeah,
which
sub
I will
30 is
take.
pretty solid.
Alright, we're rolling into 2U. Let's
Was
go.
that game overless?
That was game overless. I had 1 life, but it was game overless.
Yeah, no, like
That's pretty solid for me.
Alright,
so this
2U,
stage
a
is...
game I can actually pretend I know things about.
This stage features 4 characters, all of which control differently, and we will see all 4 of them throughout the run, so that's pretty cool. Starting off with my man Luigi still. He jumps nice and high, so it's pretty useful for a couple spots in this stage. And I'll use him again in 1-2.
Yeah, there is a clip that you can do very early on in the stage to basically skip most of it, but it's really dumb and really precise, and yeah, we're not about that kind of negativity.
No. Wasn't really how I wanted to go through the bomb, but all I have to do is deal with Birdo here, so should be okay to be small. A lot of the stages in this game kind of deal with Birdo cycles, since Birdo will only shoot an egg every, I think it's like 7 or 8 seconds, and she starts her pattern as soon as you enter the stage. So there's a lot of strats that revolve around getting to that very first Birdo cycle that you can make.
Yep, everything in this game, basically everything in this game works on a global timer.
Yeah. So here we're going to use the jump to skip over that whole section. Nice and easy.
Yeah, basically skips having to go down into a pipe, grabbing a key, and then going through a really long underground section.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this game where you just use like Peach or use Luigi in order to just skip massive portions of stages.
Yeah, and it's actually it's really crazy. If you actually go back and play the original Famicom version of this game, you know, the prequel to the fantastic indie hit Doki Doki Literature Club, Doki Doki Panic, there was no run button in the original game. And when they ported, I guess they didn't port it, whenever they, I guess, reskinned it as a Mario game.
They kind of remade it into Mario, yeah.
Yeah. They just added a run button without actually doing anything else. And the run button just kind of breaks the game. And you'll see that, we'll kind of show that off here in a couple different places.
What am I doing?
It's interesting watching people play Doki, because you see so much, like, you see so much more of the game because you just can't actually skip things.
Yeah. So we're using Toad in this stage. He runs the fastest and also runs even faster whenever he's holding onto an enemy. So that's a lot of the speed strats in a lot of stages are just picking up something as Toad and running as fast as you can. He also picks up items the fastest, so he can actually do some kills a little quicker than others.
Yep, I believe it's he's got the shortest jump, but he digs.
Yeah, he also digs a lot faster, which we'll see in World 2 coming up here. But yeah, he does also jump the slowest. So you saw a couple of those jumps I had to... Oh, I don't want to take damage there. Whatever. A couple of those jumps I had to charge up a boosted jump in order to make it, whereas some of the other characters would be able to skip that. But the time you gain from running so fast as Toad kind of makes up for that. This is a terrible Mouser fight. Alright, gonna try a pause glitch here. We'll see if we can get it. Yeah, we got it. Alright, so it took me 8,000 pauses there, but I actually paused on the frame that the fanfare was about to start, allowing me to just go straight into the door and not have to listen to the fanfare. It's one of the reasons I'm playing on the Japanese 1.0 version of the game, is because that pauses and unpauses the fastest, so you get more attempts at it in order to get the skip. I think I probably still saved a little bit of time even though I paused a whole bunch, but definitely not as much as I could have. So here's the first big digging stage, and this is where Toad really comes in handy. You don't want to like mash through the sand, you kind of want to time it correctly. You can definitely tell, like, that's one of the things, like, when you see a top runner playing this game versus a scrub like me, like how much faster they can dig. They just fly through these sections. Also kind of have to navigate these Shy Guys, make sure they don't... Wow, I was in between a tile there. So I was pressing the button to dig, I just wasn't actually digging. Dang.
Yeah, digging and picking up items in general can be kind of precise at times. Like, if you're off too far from, like, center of the tile, it just won't let you do anything.
Get down the pipe. There we go. Okay.
Oh, dude. Ladders are actually impossible unless you're a cheater.
I want to just grab the ladder and then immediately fall off of it just to fall down immediately, but I was never actually grabbing the ladder, so I was never falling.
Yeah, you didn't really see it here, because, I don't know, can you carry the star?
Yes.
Birdo?
Oh wait, this one? I don't think you can in this one.
I was gonna say, I'm not
I think
sure.
it's only in for 2. Like 4-2 is the only one you can do. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's only 4-2.
you basically force the game into spawning a star by grabbing, what is it, 5 cherries?
Yeah, 5 cherries will get you a star, and it is used, like I said, in 4-2 to insta-kill Birdo, so hopefully we'll see it there.
I know on NES you can kill that Birdo with a star, but I don't remember everything like between NES and SNES.
Yeah, I don't think that it works on the SNES. So there's a star I'm gonna pick up, just to kind of make this section a little bit less hectic. Don't have to worry about these shy guys walking into me. Just toss that nerd up there.
Wow.
And
Okay, that's just rude. Okay.
I didn't want him. Didn't want him in my life. So here's probably one of the first really fast Birdo kills. They give you something else other than Birdo's eggs to kill her with, so you can actually go a lot faster with it. That was a pretty okay kill. Alright, what stage am I in? 2-3? I think 2-3. I gotta remember what stage I'm going into, so I remember to pick the right character. There are a few stages that character selection makes quite a difference. Alright. Not the optimal Bezo, but a decent Bezo. Oh, I got stuck. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, shoutouts to just like randomly clipping into walls like that sometimes.
Yeah, we'll actually use that to our advantage in a couple of stages, but sometimes it just happens out of nowhere, and you kind of just have to react to it. So I'm going to try to pull off something here, but it's pretty tough. It's something that, as far as we know, only happens on the All-Stars version. I'm going to dig down here to get a key, but then when I get up to the top, what I'm going to try to do is, give me that star, go into the door at the same time that I scroll the screen up. And for whatever reason, because this game works like it does, the game will just spawn a clock out of nowhere and it'll stop all the enemies. I've done this a couple times on accident. I'm gonna try to do it for realsies this time. We'll see what happens.
Look, man, this game is trying its best, okay? It doesn't appreciate your stats.
Oh, I jumped too far. Oh well. Oh, we got stuck again. That's not what I wanted to have happen, but okay. Actually, though, that really sucks. I can't do the quick kill now. So there's a quick kill you can do on Triclide, where you take damage back here and use the Birdo or whatever. Not Birdo.
Oh, come on!
Come in! And you use that to get the kill really quick. But we'll have to take the slow route, but it's okay.
Didn't die to the Bezo after you killed.
Yeah.
Though.
I kind of saw him there. I'm like, that's not exactly where I want him, but it's all good. All right, shoutouts to 3-1 and Stream Quality Room. You get a nice waterfall. Lassa mentioned Doki Doki Panic, the game that was kind of repurposed for SMB2U in the States. If you've ever played that game or watched that game, cover your eyes whenever the streamer gets to this room because it is an absolute adventure.
Yeah, shoutouts to Stream Quality Stage.
Yeah.
NES waterfalls, man. Like,
it's even more intense. It's even more intense on Doki Doki Panic, man. That waterfall is going in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You got Mega Man 2, like, MC Kids is probably the worst one, honestly. If you guys have ever seen that game, like...
Nobody knows MC Kids, come on.
I'm aware.
That game doesn't exist. Alright.
But, like, you want to talk about waterfalls.
Alright, I wanted to see where that Birdo was in her pattern. So I could go pretty quickly, despite still being small. Alright, so here's the first stage. We're going to show off my girl Peach. She has a nice little floaty ability, which kind of stuck with her throughout the rest of the game she shows up in. We're going to use it in this stage to skip over quite a bit of it.
Yep, Peach,
So there we skipped over a large portion of the game. Now we're going to try to There we go. We used that little trick you saw me getting stuck in the wall a couple times. We used it there to jump over to the top of the stage, skip over all of this nonsense where you have to blow up walls and whatnot, and we'll go straight to Birdo.
Yeah. I don't know how often. Like, how many ladder jumps do you go for other than like the ones that are required?
I don't go for a whole lot of them. I'll talk about them when I get to them, but
I was gonna say, yeah, because that's basically what that was. Is what we call a ladder jump or a vine jump. They are easier with Luigi. I believe it's 3 frames for everybody that's not Luigi, and then 6 for Luigi.
something like that. It's an 8. I don't know. It's a lot more. It's a lot more for Luigi.
It is, yeah. It's
Oops, I wanted to pick Mario there. Luigi's fine there too.
like it's actually free with Luigi.
So normally we'd be Mario here. This would be the one time we'd use Mario. But the reason you use Mario in this stage is for some jumps. There's a long vertical section towards the end of the stage that Toad would have to take a very long time and a lot of powered up jumps to get through. So it's actually faster to use basically any other character. If you can actually jump up top here. I'm not used to Luigi. Okay, we died. I'm just gonna pick Mario now because I'm used to his physics in this stage. And that way we can actually see Mario for once. Because Mario is the boring vanilla character that doesn't really do anything great, but doesn't do anything poorly as well. So he's kind of the next best bet after Toad.
Yeah,
for a
he
stage
is
like
he
this.
is slightly above average on every stat.
Yeah. Alright. Hopefully I'm gonna keep 4 fireballs on screen when I scroll up to the next part. As oh dang it. I fell off the vine because vines or the chains work really well. And that's gonna throw that off. So I'm not gonna be able to despawn that Sniffit. If you oh my god, please just climb on the chain, Mario. Alright, what's this
we
guy
got
doing?
$4.20 donation
Whoa.
from Shin David Rolandy.
Thanks for the donation.
Shoutouts to money.
Shoutouts to money. So this is the room that Toad would take quite a bit of time to get through, having to power jump through all these sections. So this is the reason you take Mario in this stage. And then this room coming up, it just exists. I don't know. This room's always really weird. I don't really know. Like you get a shell there, which is like one of the only times a shell shows up in the game. I guess if you want to farm a heart there, you can. If you kill, I think it's 8 enemies, you'll get a heart spawned. So I guess if you want a heart before you go into Mauser 2, you can get one there. Also, what is happening?
These are
Yikes.
some very Mausers today. Like he is not having any of your stees.
What? Oh my god, please. Just, okay, we picked up a bomb. That's step 1.
This fight is also another reason we use Mario over Toad, because Toad would also have to duck jump here as well.
Yeah, getting that bomb up, you can see that Mario can just barely make it. Toad would not be able to do that. Pick up a bomb, Mario. For once in your life. Well, at least that guy died.
All right, we'll see you later.
I'm just go. I'm like scared too because I'm small, so I'm not really being as aggressive as I could be.
How many lives do you have?
I got plenty of lives, but
Okay.
oh my god! And then I messed up the cycle. This is bad. He's dead.
All right, idiot's dead.
All right, I didn't pause in time there, so that's the whole fanfare.
Is
Yeehaw.
his hitbox still active after he's dead?
I have no idea, and I wasn't about to find out.
You were really close to finding out. Is why I asked.
All right, rolling into the ice world. First stage 4-1 is actually one of the few stages that doesn't have a boss in it at all. You just kind of run to the end. Also features the rocket ship. We're blasting off into space.
Is it gonna be a long time?
Hopefully not. It is a speed run.
That's true.
I always thought that these guys were riding on television cameras that somehow shoot fire. I don't know if that's what they're supposed to be, but that's definitely what it looks like.
That is legitimately what I thought as well. Like, I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw that.
Alright, if you're good at this game, this is a Toad stage, but I'm not, so this is a Peach stage. But we have a very important room coming up, and everybody can participate in after we get through this room of Bezos flying at my face and running into me. So get ready, everybody. It's a very important moment in the run.
All right, I'm getting ready.
You ready? Okay, good. So you gotta... Oh, I died. You got a little more time to get ready. I just want to make sure everybody's ready. We took that death on purpose. Wanted to make sure everybody's ready for this one. Why do I keep jumping there? It's throwing me off, dude. I don't think it throws the rest of the pattern off, but... What? Okay, I jumped that time. I disagree with that one. Yeah, I hyped up the room, and now it's taking me 8 years to get there. Alright, this is the one right here. Remember when I said I had a lot of lives? And all of a sudden I didn't have that many lives?
Yeah,
Good times,
I mean, it's
man.
fine. It's fine.
Good times. Alright, it's time, everybody. For the Whales of Attachment, let's go. Shoutouts to the whale room. I'm actually keeping track of how many cherries I'm picking up here, as it will be important at the very end of this stage how many I have. Yeah, thanks for that whale also. Really helps me out. Alright, so we did mention earlier that you can actually use a star to kill Birdo, so that's what we're going to do, hopefully, at the end of this stage. So picking up enough cherries to spawn a star right there. Picking it up.
Falling on spikes first.
Yeah, just for fun, and then there we go. Nice and easy, Birdo.
Bye, Birdo. Bye, Birdo.
Yeah, thanks for that raccoon. That whale raccoon dog. What stage is this? 4-3? Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so this is a stage you... Well, I mean, you don't have to. You can play as whoever you want. I'm not gonna judge. But if you want to go fast, you have to play as Luigi as Peach. We'll see why in just a minute here. I'm gonna pick up this mushroom. It is the only mushroom I pick up anymore, just because this boss fight is pretty tricky. But I missed the egg. No, dude. All right. So first, you gotta ride this egg across this giant gap, which is a pretty cool idea. IMO. But here's one of those things where they didn't really test it very much. If you're Luigi or Peach, you can actually just clear this gap and skip past the first 2 doors in a very long section, and you're just kind of right at the end of the stage.
Yep.
Yeah, nice whale. Alright, so here's Fry Guy. This is probably, in my opinion,
He's trying his best.
the toughest boss. Some people might disagree, but I find him very difficult. So we're taking it kind of safe. It's also why I picked up the mushroom. Yo, that was really good at the end. I didn't get the pulse glitch
Nice. Yeah, nice. Nice little Fry Guy kill.
though. Yeah. Took care of the little guys. I went really safe on the big guy. And then just went ham on the little guys. Went alright. Alright, I'm gonna... Oof, 2 lives. I'm just gonna take a safety. This is a marathon. We'll take a safety game over here. I'd maybe risk this if I was, like, doing PB attempts or something, but... I don't want to get all the way to the end of 5-3, which is a very long... Like, all the stages in World 5 are really long. So I don't want to get to the very end of it and have to do it again. So we'll play it safe there. Take the game over.
Don't pull a lasso.
I also, when I was doing a practice run of this earlier, game overed in 5-3. So... Try to avoid that this time around. Luigi, please. Oh, this is gonna this throws everything off. And I apparently didn't jump.
5-3 is also, like, to me, one of the hardest stages in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, there is a lot of stuff in that stage.
Yeah, it's a very long stage. This is one of the worlds where you can't really skip past a whole bunch of content by doing some sort of trick. So you kind of just have to deal with it. And, yeah.
You have to actually play the video game. It's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Alright, picked up that one up. And this is the first Birdo fight where Birdo won't shoot any eggs at you. So you have to use the tools given to you to damage her. Oh, what?
In this case, tool.
Well, this is unfortunate. Didn't expect to take that hit there. While you're picking an item up, you're actually invulnerable. And I thought that's what I was doing when I took the hit, but apparently the game thought otherwise. Alright, so this is a stage that if you see a real top runner playing this stage, this is really a really awesome stage. As also mentioned earlier, the vine jumps to the ladder jumps let you go vertically very quickly, and this stage has a giant climbing section. But I am not anywhere near good enough at those vine jumps, so I just take Peach and kind of take it easy here. This is probably, of the 4 games, it's definitely the one I've practiced the least. I've only ever really just spammed runs of this one. The other ones I've practiced a bit here and there, or in the case of Mario 3, practiced far too much. So there, especially towards the end here, I'll be going with Peach a little more often than I should, just to make things safe. Alright. I'm gonna get to fall through this section. It's kind of like Wily 3 and Mega Man 2, I just thought of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just kind of like... Oh, dang it. I thought Berta was on her 3rd egg there. She wasn't. Oh, jeez. This fight's going awful.
This is fine. This is fine. I don't see a problem.
Alright, whatever. We're done. Fight's over. We killed Berta. That's what matters.
Frame perfect, honestly.
Not a single mistake. Okay, as also mentioned before, 5-3, one of the most difficult stages in the run to do well. It's just a long stage, there's a lot going on in it. And the boss fight at the end too kind of sucks, so it's not a fun one. Yeah, we got a star, but we're not about that life, so we're bailing. Okay, we barely got that crouch jump off in time. That's a tight one. Alright, oof. Got over that plant. So this room right here is probably my least favorite room in the entire game.
Yeah, this room is awful.
I got that first try, luckily, to slide underneath that. That actually doesn't skip as much as you think it does, so like if you don't get that first try or second try, you really have just kind of thrown away any time you would have saved it. Then you have to deal with these plants. Walking around, shooting fire. I'm sure there's a really quick way through this, but I don't know how to do it yet, so let's kind of deal with what happens here. But this is one of the reasons I picked Peach in this stage, just because she kind of floats around through the platforms a bit easier. You can actually screen wrap left to right there to get across to some of the other characters. It's kind of weird.
One other little thing that you can do in this stage and other stages with the magic carpet, if you're Toad, if you pick up an enemy while you're on top of one of the magic carpets, like, it freaks out and basically lets you run at super speed.
Yeah, it gives you Toad's normal carrying speed, but on the magic carpet. Now we're rolling into my boy Aweglib. No relation. Yeah, we shot the Kobe! He can sometimes just throw rocks into that bottom there. Oh, dang. So yeah, I'm actually trying to throw these rocks past him and have them run into the wall. That way I can... God dang. We killed him? Yeah, we killed him. Yay!
Double kill.
So by throwing the rocks past him, it actually can bounce back and hit him. You can get a 5-hit. I've done it once, the Kobe. But it's kind of dependent on how he's moving and how well you throw it. Ugh, I'm not doing this fight well. I should have probably switched to the Kobe's, dude. He's just shooting the J all day. Probably should have switched to Toad upon re-entry of this fight, but it's okay. Yeah, there's a 4-banger. We'll take those. All right, we're out.
Oh, nice. Easy, dude. First try.
I don't remember who I play in 6-1. I think I still go Peach for this stage. Yeah.
I'll say it's normally a Toad.
It's normally a Toad stage, but having to deal with all this quicksand, if you don't have the proper strats, is no bueno. So just roll Peach. I'll have to deal with some pretty slow digging coming up here, but that's all right. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I got stuck again. That's no good.
This is fine.
I'm gonna have to be a little more careful.
Just means you can switch to Toad for the quick boss kill.
No way, we're not gonna die. Alright.
Easy. Wasn't scared at all.
Not one bit. I'm gonna pick Luigi in this stage. There is a strat in this stage with Luigi that is just absolutely nuts. Allows you to skip over all of this stage by just jumping on enemies kind of as they show up. But I've tried it and got nowhere near anywhere towards the end of the stage with it. So, Ride Your Bird update, everybody. This one's going pretty okay.
It's pretty okay out of 10, I'd say.
1 and 2J were pretty good. 2U could have been better so far, but it's alright. We'll take it. Compared to how 2U's been going in practice leading up to this, I will take this run.
You're almost done with the only good game on this collection.
Oh, that was a weird spot in the Birdo pattern. Oh no, I didn't get past Birdo like I wanted to there. Alright, whatever, we got there. Oh, Luigi can't make that jump? Dang, dude. Alright. Last time using Peach here. There's a trick in this stage where you can actually pull up the potion that's in the ground there and jump off of it as Luigi and skip over the top of the stage. But the easier way that you can do is just sink a little bit into the quicksand, start spamming jumps so you don't get sucked down to the death plane, and just skip across it. Skips a large part of the stage. You go back in the door because you're bad at video games. But yeah, that's it.
Cosmic brain strats here, honestly.
So 6-3 boils down basically just to a Birdo fight and the boss. Alright, should I go for it, or should I build the wall?
You got lives to spare. Go for it.
Alright. Oh,
Our boy
that's not good.
Triclide's back. He's angry.
Yeah, he's not happy with how the first fight went, so... Ah, dang. Alright, we're gonna build the wall now. I'm not very good at doing that quicker kill, especially with Peach. So, we'll do the safe route, where you just use some of these mushrooms to put a wall up, and you can't possibly get hit. Also, why did I take the 2 I wanted to jump off of for this? I don't know.
It's a good
Whatever.
question. Alright.
I started pausing
Tough.
super early there.
Tough
We
fight.
at least got it. We at least got the fanfare skip.
And you didn't walk off the edge
I
trying to go in the door.
Yeah, listen, I've done that before.
Anyone has ever done that ever.
Alright, 7-1 is a Luigi stage, mostly to get up to this bird and skip over most of the first half. There's another skip coming up here.
He also lets you make the best ladder jump in the game a little bit easier.
Yeah,
It's so satisfying.
I'm gonna go for it. We'll see if I get it. So you can actually just jump off of that little guy and make it all the way up, skip most of that little portion as well. And so all you really have to do in this stage is worry about this last little vertical section.
Yep. These sparksters can be a little
Dang.
annoying.
Yeah, I didn't get down in time to charge up the boost. That's okay. Alright, that guy didn't shoot. Yo, we got the ladder jump. We got the one ladder jump I go for in the game. We did it. Just pick up the thing. Alright, cool.
Alright. We'll see you later, Birdo. It's the last Birdo we'll kill in this run.
Alright. Last stage of the game, 7-2. This is probably, like, this is a really notorious stage for people playing this game the first time. Just because it's a very, very confusing stage with a lot of different winding paths. But
it's
once you
definitely-
know the correct path, and you also know a couple of tricks, the stage goes actually pretty quick. I'm farming a couple of enemy kills there just in case I need to pick up a heart towards the end. Hopefully we don't, but just in case. I don't know if I got enough there or not. We'll see. Might not have gotten enough kills. But here's another instance of using the wall to kind of just jump over top. Skip past quite a bit. It also have a little bit of a different effect on the Birdo coming up here. Normally, the game wants you to kill this Birdo to get the key. But if you go up top like this, the key just kind of spawns outside of Birdo. And we're actually going to use it to kill Birdo here, because she was in a weird part of her pattern. Alright. Okay, I did get the heart, but we didn't need it. And so now, all we got left to do is just go in our good friend, the bird. Oh my god, he's attacking us! What a twist! Oh no, we've been fooled.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I ran screaming out of the room the first time that happened as a kid.
Alright, rolling into the ward fight. This fight is really, really tricky to do optimally, especially when he shoots bubbles at the vegetables you're supposed to throw at him. So if you time this well, which I went a little too early there, you can actually throw the veggie, have it hit him, and have another one spawn. There I went a little too late, so I got the hit, but I didn't get another veggie to spawn, so I have to wait another cycle. That was far too early, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, it's all good.
Lost control of
There
my
we
life.
go. There was a good cycle. That was too late again.
Whoa!
Whoa! Oh my, I shouldn't have even gone for that veggie, I should have just...
Oof.
Oh my gosh, what are these spawns, dude? That's a good one. That was a little too early. Oh, he shot that one down. No.
Oh, sniped it.
Yeah. Okay. Ah, dang it. I got the timing right, but it was a tough veggie to get to.
Yeah, that was an awkward spawn.
I think one more. I threw way too late there. This is not a very good ward fight. Okay, we're done.
Alright, idiot's dead.
I didn't get the fanfare skip there. That's alright though. That was okay. Alright.
34, 24 it looked like, turning 25.
Something like that.
Not bad, not bad.
It's okay.
We take those.
We take those. Alright, now it's Mario 3. This is the game I'm supposed to be good at. So we'll see what happens.
Except, you know, it's All-Stars, and All-Stars is terrible.
Yeah, this game probably has one of the biggest contrasts compared to its NES counterpart in the camera being very, very different. And for the speedrun, it makes it a lot worse. There's a lot of jumps.
Frankly, yeah, awful.
There's a lot of jumps, especially I'll mention one coming up here at the end of World 1. That's just absolutely terrible to have to do with the NES camera.
Yeah.
But don't worry, if you want to see the really great NES camera, you can see it later tonight when Lasso and I race SMB3. Category to be determined. I think 100% is winning the bid war right now. Last time I looked,
Yeah.
it was.
I'm really not sure why, of all things, that, like... Because they didn't change anything else in Mario 3.
Not
between
really, no.
All-Stars and NES. Like,
Some
there's a couple
hitboxes,
things-
but that's about it.
Yeah, there's a couple hitboxes, and, like, the wrong warp doesn't work.
I pressed the button to jump. Mario decided he wasn't about that life.
But, like, especially compared to, like, Mario 1 and 2J, and even
Yeah.
2U, like, they fixed a lot of bugs in all of those. But didn't really, like, Mario 3 is like, no, we're just gonna change the camera. Okay.
Good thing Quick Leaf is still free.
Yeah.
So we're gonna fly up here and pick up this whistle. Shoutouts to the wizard. This is Warpless, so I'm not gonna use this whistle, but it's the fastest way to beat the stage. I do have the added downside of that being in my inventory, the first slot of my inventory for the entire rest of the run.
Yeah, so Glib's definitely gonna have to be careful anytime he goes into the menu to not, accidentally use that, or even just like there's been times where when you enter a stage, like the first thing you do is press B because B makes you run.
Yeah.
If you miss an input or something, I've seen people just like open their menu by accident, just like press B, and then like realize they're still on the overworld, and then just press A to enter the stage, and like, oh, my menu's open, I just whistled.
Yeah, I've definitely done that before in runs. Alright, so here's in 1.6 is probably one of the biggest culprits in terms of the camera being awful. There's a strat you can do here, I will go for it once, that kind of allows you to skip past one of these lifts. Oh, dang. Let's try this again. Didn't jump at the right time. Oh my god, what am I doing? Can't do it. That was way too early. Alright, you know what? You know what? Video game.
See,
what is happening?
This is why I jumped down to the bottom platform.
There we go. Alright, we built the P-Speed. Now we're somewhere in the air. Okay, we made it. You really have no idea where you are in relation to the platforms on the All-Stars version compared to SNES. So you kind of just have to completely go by feel with it. Whatever, we got it.
It's unpleasant. The camera is so bad.
Yeah. So one slight time save that this version has over the NES counterpart is those cutscenes are much, much faster. Mostly because they're Japanese. But overall, the NES version, especially the US NES version, is the fastest version of SMB3. And the main reason for that is you see every time I enter into a stage, there's a fade, there's like a screen wipe, and it says Mario Start, and then wipes back in. The wipe back in is not present in the NES version, and that's about a second or something like that every single stage. So the NES version saves a ton of time just because of that. The other reason is in SMB3 on the US NES version and also in any All-Stars versions, if you take a hit as Fire Mario or Tail Mario, you'll go down to Big Mario, whereas on the Famicom version, you go all the way down to Small Mario. So there's a couple of spots where you actually use that extra power-up downgrade to your advantage, and there's also, it's just, in general safer. It's easier to get back up to Fire Mario if you only have to get one power-up versus two. I gotta remember to do Warpless. I've been doing 100% for the last, week or so. So, maybe because it's on All-Stars, I'll remember to do Warpless stuff.
Alright, so moving into World 2, ideally, Glib's gonna want to be able to avoid this Hammer Bro that you can see on the screen when you enter the world, and only fight the bro that's off the screen right now. In very rare cases, the bro that's off screen can come all the way over past 2-3, and Glib can fight him early. That is super rare. On NES, there's been some manips recently that top runners have been able to. Ooh,
almost went too fast, too furious. Oh, I have no speed on this platform. Okay, this stage could normally be a lot faster, but I messed it all up. So here we are. All right, whatever.
Yeah, that platform loves to just completely eat your momentum. It's a very sticky platform.
Yeah, you have to jump off it pretty much right when you land, otherwise it's gonna just completely stick you down.
Yeah. But yeah, ideally there's two bros here. One is a music box, one is a hammer bro, or is a hammer rather. And we want to skip the music box, which it looks like Glib got a good pattern to skip him. Looks like I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I should be able to skip the music box unless I die.
Yeah. And it's All-Stars, so we're probably gonna see early hammer because that's just how it works.
I did get, the last time I did this, I did get early hammer. I got semi-early hammer. If you get it before 2-3, you can skip over 3 stages. You can also save a bit of time if you get it before or after 2-3. That's called semi-early hammer. I actually got that last time I did an All-Stars run. But
unless you're talking to Karua and then it's just early hammer and he'll yell at you. Are you going for the strat?
No, I'm not gonna go for the strat. You
But
can.
it actually
I'm.
saves a good chunk of time on All Stars.
You can show it off during our race later. I won't take that from
I-
you. Even though it's a
totally-
strat that I invented, I will let you do it because you're much better at it than I am.
It's true. It makes me sad because it saves more than 6 frames on All Stars.
Yeah. There's a lot less lag on this game on the All-Stars version versus the NES. The All-Stars version really doesn't lag as much, whereas the NES version can lag quite a bit in times. So there's a strat here that saves barely any time because of how much extra lag it creates doing it, but it does. You don't have to deal with that in All-Stars, so it saves a bit more. Now we're rolling into the Angry Sun level. This is probably the easiest level to speedrun in the entire game. As long as you land in the same spot coming out of that tornado, you'll get the same pattern from the Angry Sun, so you know kind of exactly what he's going to do. So it makes it pretty straightforward, pretty easy stage to get through. I think that whale was timed well. I think I was in the whale of attachment room about that time. But I've been following that bro around, the one that has the hammer, and you kind of decide whether or not you play 2-4 or 2-5 based on where he's at. Since he was kind of leaning this way, I'm going to go to 2-5. 2-4 is slightly faster, but it's not fast enough to make it where if you have to do a bunch of extra map movements, it would make up the difference. So you kind of just go to whichever stage the bro is leaning towards. But he might go back across now here.
Yeah, you're looking at like half a second at most, I think.
Yeah. Alright, moving into the pyramid. This is one of the most technical stages early on in the run. You're dealing with a lot of these walls that you have to break through, and to do so quickly is kind of tricky. First wall was kind of okay. And I jumped too early for that one.
Ooh.
This will actually make it a little easier because I'm small now, but I don't want to be small right now, so that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately it means he's not gonna be able to get a fire flower back until
3-1.
3-1 or 3-2, depending on which one
I'll
you'd
go for
rather
the
go
3-1. I'll go for the 3-1.
Yeah. I think 3-1's slightly faster. I usually go for the 3-2 one because it's safer to me.
Yeah. Alright, so we're finally fighting this hammer bro. This is the longest bros to fight, actually, because you have to wait for their boomerang to go all the way off screen.
Yeah, it is
But we
possible,
have our hammer.
In Hundo, actually, and I don't know why it took us, however many years to realize use a star on a boomerang bro and you can kill the boomerang. But
yeah.
like in Hundo, where we have extra stars, we'll use a star on one of the boomerang bros here, and it saves a pretty decent amount of time just because you can kill the boomerang immediately and you don't have to wait for it to like fly off a screen.
So yeah, so the World 2 airship here, I would have been able to re-get a fire flower here had I kept my big, but this is actually the only fire flower in World 2 at all, so you want to ideally keep your fire flower throughout the whole world, but was not able to do that, unfortunately. Luckily, I didn't lose too much time due to not having it. I didn't have it for the boom boom kill. Those go a little quicker if you can shoot them with fireballs as opposed to jumping on them. But other than that, you don't lose a whole lot of time versus what power up you have here.
That's the only place in World 2 where you'll actually lose time for not having the fire flower. Other than, the half a second each power up you pick up just for the animation.
Yeah, we got hopping, Morton. Alright.
Yeah, so the Koopaling patterns are based on the time it takes you to end the last stage until you enter the pipe, entering the fight. Unfortunately, on All-Stars, the patterns run differently than they do on NES, so for runners like Glib and I who are used to NES patterns, we have no idea what we're gonna get.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really done a ton of research into the Koopa patterns on All-Stars. Maybe some of the Japanese runners. Most of the Japanese runners run on the All-Stars version, the Japanese All-Stars version of this game. But I don't know if any of them have really done a whole lot of research. Getting a fire kill on a Koopa Kid, you have to be pretty precise about it to actually get it to save time.
Yeah, especially at All-Stars, because Koopa Kid hitboxes are a little wonky in All-Stars. Like, those were some of the hitboxes we were talking about earlier that kind of got, air quotes, fixed, I guess.
Yeah, they're a little different, so it's a little tougher to get some of these kills.
They feel worse to me, but it might just be because I'm used to.
There's some that I'm okay with, and there's others that I really don't like.
Yeah,
It
Wendy
depends.
is awful.
Yeah,
Like,
Wendy's
World
is pretty
3
bad.
World 3 is just, it's terrible. You'll see that coming up, because I believe that's the only fire kill you go for in this run.
Yeah, and Warpless, yeah. I sometimes go for the Larry one.
In All Stars, I meant.
And in All Stars, it's the only one I go for.
Yeah.
All right, I'm watching my coin count here. Something
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I forgot this was All Stars, dude. So okay, so normally I shoot a shoot a fireball to kill that piranha plant, but on the All Stars version, if you shoot a fireball when you're off screen, it doesn't actually happen. So that strat that I tried to do didn't work at all, and I lost my fire flower because of it. Oh well, we can pick one up here in 3-3. So.
Yeah, another change that they made in All Stars that for no reason, honestly.
Maybe that will remind me in 8-1. Because that's another stage where you normally shoot a fireball. Oh god. And
That's true.
oh, that was not when I expected that to end. Okay, whatever. Just get to the end of the stage.
Watch your coins.
Yeah. We're good. Okay. So, why Lasso mentioned to watch my coins there, coin ships are something you have to watch out for in this run. If your coin count is a multiple of 11, like mine was there for a second where it's 55, and your score is the same digit, it actually will spawn a coin ship in worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6. Let's go for third door real quick.
Any world where there is a
Impossible.
air quotes normal hammer bro,
Yeah.
they can be turned into a coin ship, which is a long, slow auto scroller. Which is awesome in casual play because there's like 4 or 5 1-ups worth of coins and 1 or 2 hidden 1-ups in there. But yeah, it moves as slow as the World 4 airship, so we don't like that. We're gonna avoid those if we can.
Alright, so I tried to go for a 1-frame trick there to re-enter that door and go straight to the boom boom section. Oh, well he's bailing. Okay, this is gonna change the route.
Well, I guess that guy's not getting a Rush Hour 3.
So the Hammer Bros movements are actually very important in World 3 because of the bridges that move every time you exit a stage. Ideally, you want to get both of the bros and clear all the stages without dying. So you can skip over 3-6 and go straight to 3-8. But since that bro up top ran away, that's going to throw things off if I kill the other one. So we're just going to avoid him unless he comes back here. Which he did, of course. So now we're going to have some extra map movements, but I did that just in case, so I didn't have to take a death in 3-6.
Yeah, and it's also important that, like, it's kind of why, other than obviously dying is bad for the speedrun,
Yeah.
a death in World 3 is even worse. That's kind of why his 3-3 was extra scary.
Yeah, I was panicking even more because of that whole issue.
Because, and Boss Bass is a one-hit kill if he jumps up and eats you. Doesn't matter how many power-ups you have, it doesn't matter, like, you know, what you've got going for you. If he eats you, you're just dead.
Speaking of Boss Bass.
So yeah, and now, the stage right after we use one of our clouds, there's a Boss Bass here as well. If there were any rules in Warpless, rule number 1 would be don't die in 3-8. Because if you die here, you die for real. Because yeah, if Glib would have died there, he basically would have been kicked back out past 3-6, and would have had to redo that auto scroller, which on NES is honestly like my favorite stage in the game, just because of how many stupid things you can do in that stage. But yeah, it's still a long, slow auto scroller, and we don't really want those in our life.
Easy trick.
Never fail it.
That H jump requires a lot of precise jumps leading up to it to keep your P speed and clear it. I would be getting a coin ship, or I'd be in big coin ship danger right now where my coins and score are, but I won't have to worry about that until World 5, and by then I will definitely have multiple opportunities to fix that, so.
Yep.
Alright, so going on to the World 3 airship now. This is the one Koopa Kid that you really want to fire kill. If you're gonna kill any fire kill any of the Koopa Kids, you definitely want it to be Wendy, because her stage is nice and flat, so it makes it pretty easy. But also, instead of shooting just like regular shots from the wand, like all the other Koopa Kids does, or most of the other Koopa Kids do, she shoots rings that bounce around the stage and don't despawn. So if you're jump killing her, she tries to throw another one out almost immediately upon going through her little getting hit animation. And so you end up with 3 of them on screen towards the end, and it's really tricky to do. But with the fire balls, you can kill her pretty quickly, and there's only 1 ring on screen that really doesn't get in your way with how fast the kill will go. But I am going to have to deal with a kind of janky hitbox here to try to get these fireballs in, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and she does like to jump and hop a little bit, so Glib's gonna have to be careful on like basically where he's standing when he's shooting the fireballs as well, because if you shoot them where they're bouncing low by the time they would hit her, they're probably just gonna go right through her. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I missed a couple.
Yeah, just kind of like that.
Alright. Not a great kill, but that kind of happens sometimes. You saw the jankiness of the hitbox there a little bit.
Hey,
but
hey,
we take those.
You killed her, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You're one more Koopa Kid closer to being done with the video game.
Sometimes that's all you can ask for.
At the end of All Stars, that's all I ask for.
Alright, we're moving into the World 4 now, and the World 4 Overworld is an absolute banger. Unfortunately, you won't hear a whole lot of it, but it is super good. World 4 are probably a lot of people's favorite worlds. I know, Lasso, you're not particularly fond of it, but a lot of people, speedrunners and casual players alike, really enjoy this world. And where am I jumping? Shoutouts to the camera. I had no idea where I was.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have gone for that. I tried to like stop, but then I was too committed and everything happened all at once and I died.
In fairness, there are like 2 good stages in the speedrun in World 4. The rest of the world can just die in a fire, but...
Get in there, Mario. Alright, casual stroll through 4-1 here. Well, we out.
I appreciated your Let's Play.
Thanks, man.
4-1.
Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Sure to bop that subscribe button.
Alright, so I grabbed both of those ice blocks to despawn one of those piranha plants, and then used the other one to run into that second one to get P-speed. It's a sort of tricky strat. There's an easier strat you can do on NES to despawn the piranha plant, which makes the stage a little easier, but that's the strat you kind of have to go with on All Stars. Coming up here is the Sludge Bros. Probably the easiest and fastest bros to get rid of. There is one with the cloud, we want that one. There's 2 more in this stage. One is a star, one's a P-Wing. I might want to get just the P-Wing. I definitely don't want the star, though.
Yeah. Ideally, he's going to be able to skip both of them here.
Yeah, but it really depends on where they set up as to what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's no way to really manipulate it. Like, there's no way to control it, but best case scenario, Glib gets to skip both of these, actually.
Yo.
Without using his music box.
Nice 4-3. Best stage.
It's a pretty good stage. It's
a... dang. Okay, well, the star ran in front of me, so there's nothing I can really do about this. So we used the hammer there to skip past 4F1. There's 2 other hammered usages throughout the run. That's the one that if you do end up getting early hammer, you play that stage instead.
Yeah. Or
we didn't make it.
Or Glib had to skip the
Or yeah, if I would have skipped those World 3 bros, I would have been down a hammer as well.
Yeah.
But
yeah, had the star not come back.
4-4 is one of the few stages in the game that is actually completely different on NES and All Stars, since they can't really set the water levels the way they can on NES. They actually made it one solid level throughout the entire stage, so it makes it a lot shorter on the one side and a bit taller on the other. So it kind of completely changes the strats there. Makes it a little tricky if you're used to NES all of a sudden going to the All-Stars and not knowing what's going on. Alright, I'm gonna fight this guy now. Since I got the star here, I'm gonna want the P-Wing in this world. I guess I could have potentially skipped him, but that's okay. There's some bros at the beginning of World 5. One that has a star, one that has a P-Wing. I'll actually be using a music box to skip past those ones. Basically, between those two sets of bros, you would like to ideally get just one P-Wing.
Yeah, I think if you already fought the star, you should. I think it's better to grab the P-Wing, even if you have to go out of your way a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I could have just wall jumped 6-9. I might do that anyways, and just use the P-Wing in 6F3. We'll see what happens.
Fair.
Alright, 4F2 has a very difficult P-speed build at the beginning. I didn't get it. You need to be really precise with there. Since the game checks every 8 frames whether or not Mario's running on the ground or not, you can actually manipulate that to get it to only really check while you're on the ground as opposed to in the air, and build your P-speed through it. But now we're coming up on everybody's favorite part of the run, the World 4 airship. This airship moves twice as slow as any other normal auto-scroller in the game. Really for no reason. It just kind of does.
Yeah.
So if you want to make a sandwich, use the bathroom, grab a cold one.
Maybe run a marathon.
Yeah, do something.
Know, like... Maybe, I don't know, go wash your car. Probably cook a 5-course meal. I don't know, like...
I have so many extra coins, I actually don't know where I want to put my coin count here. We'll see if that works. Might just have to do some extra adjusting in the tower. That's okay.
Yeah, as long as you keep an eye on your coins, it never really should be a problem.
Yeah.
You should like, at least in World 5, there's never really any times where, like, as long as you're paying attention, it shouldn't be bad. Of course, we've all been there where we just don't pay attention.
Yeah, I was doing a practice run of 100% last night and had some jank to deal with in World 6 revolving missing a coin ship. So it's just one of those things. The second you stop paying attention to it, it will all of a sudden be in the worst possible scenario. There's the only sort of tricky jump in the run. You can just jump off of that fire cannon thing or whatever and make it over. You don't lose any time if you don't get it. You just have to go through that little slightly trickier part there in order to get to the end. Now we're dealing with Iggy, a Koopa Kid that jumps very, very high. And because this game works the way it does, sometimes Iggy can actually jump through Mario's hitbox before you land on him, and then the game decides, oh, you ran into Iggy, you took a hit, even though you were jumping on his head. Luckily, that time Iggy cooperated, but it is something that can just happen out of nowhere, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you just cry a little on the inside.
Yeah, because there really isn't a great fire flower to pick up in World 5 until about 5-7, and there are a few stages that work better with fire.
Yeah,
so
losing your fire after the last fort in World 4 is probably the worst place in the game that you could lose it. It might actually be worse than losing it before Bowser.
It's pretty close, I would say.
Yeah, it might not be as bad, but it's really close.
What? I tried to jump there. Well, we lost it, so here we go. That's twice now the B buttons let me down. I changed the rubbers in these, so it's not the controller, it's just something else. I don't know. I did have a run of this one time where my B button broke halfway through. That was really great. I think that's my current all 500% PB. How's that? Oh, I ran into that nerd. Uh-oh. Oh, God. What's happening? Okay, we're fine. I wasn't scared.
Alright. Made it up there, didn't fall into the pit of misery.
Yeah, you definitely want to take the top route in this stage. It's much faster and safer. The bottom route is really, really awful, and you have to go through a 10 to 15 second just straight falling portion to get there, so...
Yeah, it's actually faster. It's faster to kill yourself if you fall down there and just start the level over again than to actually go through the rest of the stage. And it's much like Mario 2 Mario 2 Lost Levels. It's basically just a really bad Mario Maker level down there.
Yeah, there's just a ton of spikes and piranha plants. Spike, the enemy that throws ice blocks at you and stuff like that, but yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to use my music box here. And I should have used it before the fort, shouldn't I have? Oh well.
Yep, somewhere Karua is...
You get an extra turn of them not moving around if you use it before a tower, but I forgot to do that. Because I normally don't. Normally, most runs you skip past the World 4 ones. Yo, easy trick, dude.
The Sunday sequence break.
Shout out to the Sunday sequence break. You can enter that pipe in reverse, and it just takes you to the next portion of the level. That reverse pipe entry is actually one of the main things behind how any percent works. But there's a couple spots you can do it in the regular run as well here. I think I want one more coin. Oh, I didn't want two more. That's probably fine though. My score's okay. Whatever, we're out. 5-4, probably one of the stages that going from NES to All-Stars is a really big thing to deal with. There's a ton of lag on this stage in NES with all these spinners moving around, but there's none on All-Stars. If you all know Chelney, he's somebody who learned this game a little while back, and then later on went to play the All-Stars version. He had a little bit of some troubles with this stage when he first got to it, just because he didn't have to deal with the lag.
I refuse to do the P-Speed strat there on SNES. Like,
I take it a lot safer than I do on NES. Just
between the camera and no lag, like...
Yeah, you also have to deal with the camera there too. Okay, so I don't have a good coin count, but my score is okay. So we should be fine. Also, that bro down at the bottom has a cloud. Or has a music box, and I do need that. So I want to fight him as soon as possible. There was a good movement. But he can go right back to where he was after this stage, so we'll see what happens. You can lose quite a bit of time if you have to fight him at the very end of the world versus a little bit earlier. Alright, so we got our Fire Flower back. There was a couple of speed strats I could have done in 5.5 and 5.7 that I couldn't because of needing to grab power-ups, but overall we're back to where we want to be.
And we don't have a multiple of 11.
Alright, so he walked over to the left, but he went left twice, so that's fine. So this stage actually features a clip that in that first room that you can do that actually skips this entire room and sends you straight to Boom Boom. The only problem with it, as I get the cheeky dry bones, is that you actually only save about 6 seconds with how long the clip itself takes you, and if you mess the clip up the first time, you die. There's no recovering from it. So it's kind of only something you do if you're trying to save or kill a run, or if you're like way behind in a race or something, and just it really doesn't matter anymore if you miss it. Alright.
So we do need that music box. We're going to need that for World 7. There's a Piranha Plant level that we're going to be able to skip with it. Since Glib already used the one that Peach gives him at the end of every airship, you'll get you'll get a letter from the princess that has an item in it.
About to skip over the worst stage in the game, 5-9, and go straight to the World 5 airship. And I won't let anybody say otherwise. It's the worst stage.
It's the worst stage.
Worst stage.
Worst stage.
Alright, so I did lose my Fire Flower in the fortress there to that Dry Bones, but I can pick it up here again on the airship. It's kind of... The big thing about moving on here is that I want to have 2 power-ups, because I will be using both sets of iframes in the first fortress of World 6 in order to skip over a big portion of it. So ideally I want to have Fire Flower, as it'll let me take out the first Hammer Bro a little quicker, but just in general the fastest thing to have is 2 power-ups. Alright. We're moving in on my big boy Roy. He can actually pound the ground every time he jumps. And he kind of stun locks you in such a way that he can kind of get on top of you and take you down from Fire Mario to dead very quickly. If he just keeps jumping in the right ways. So, but as long as you make sure you avoid those jumps, pretty easy kill. Yo, frame perfect letter, let's go.
Nice.
Alright, so we're going to be going down into this pipe here and using our second hammer in order to skip past 6-1, 6-2, and 6-3. That's the last hammer we have, but luckily this hammer bro is going to be nice and give us another one. We'll use that later on here in World 6. This is kind of the beginning of using a lot of the items you've had stocked up throughout the rest of the run. World 6 and World 7 have a bunch of stages that are much more difficult without items, so you kind of just save them all up and then just spam them through these stages in order to get through it as quickly as possible.
Yep. World 6 and 7, otherwise known as Dude, Where's My P-Wing?
Doors, please. Yeah, it can get a little confusing, especially in a run like 100% when you have so many items in your inventory to find the one that you need. Alright, that's good. Hi, Boom Boom. Bye, Boom Boom.
So yeah, this star kill is a little bit tighter on All Stars because on All Stars the timer still ticks down even when you're in the door transition, whereas on NES it pauses for that. But yeah, it's still not too bad to get there with the star.
Yeah, if your movement's clean enough, it's not, you have enough time. I also was not paying attention to the bros like I should have been. There's one of these bros at the end here that has a star, and another one has a cloud. Obviously I want the cloud and I don't want the star, but I wasn't paying close enough attention to see what was what. Yeah, I had...
watch your coins.
Yeah, I'm okay there.
Yeah, no, you're good, but just keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Less than 33 and 30.
I'll hit some bricks in 6-5, so it's all good. Oh, I missed. Okay, I wanted to try and grab that ice block in order to despawn the nippers that spawn up top here, but unfortunately wasn't able to grab it, so...
Never practice.
There we go. Never practice 6-5. Anytime I practice 6-5, I do terribly on it. When I just go into the run and just do it, it just works. I practiced 6-5 last night, so that's why I messed it up there.
Clearly.
Alright, we're just gonna fight this nerd because we have to. Hopefully this is the cloud and not the star, but we'll see.
Yeah, on NES it would have been possible for Glib to buffer past that bro. I don't know if that works on All Stars.
Yeah, it was sometimes lucky. I think you can still tap it, but you can't buffer it like you can on NES.
So you have to time it.
Yeah, you have to time it.
Like...
I think so. I think that's possible. I can't remember though. Alright, 6 F2 Oh god, I'm dead. I'm not dead. Alright. This is one of the stages that really challenges how good you are with the tail. We haven't used it much throughout the rest of the run because it's normally slower, but in a stage like that where we can skip over a lot of stuff by flying, it's faster to use a tail there. So that went alright.
Yeah,
I was a little nervous, but it worked out.
Yeah, I guess we never did explain that. Glib obviously has not been using a tail a whole lot, and anytime he's had the tail, you notice he took a hit at the end of that stage, and that was intended. Anytime unless we need to fly somewhere, we don't want the tail in this game, because Mario, one, just moves slower in general if you jump and you have the tail, and two, if you ever get P-speed and you jump when you have the tail, the game sets a timer, and you kind of saw it there in that last stage. And when that timer runs out, Mario just loses P-speed no matter where he's at. So had Glib messed up his movement on one of those flights, he basically would have just fallen to his death, and there would have been nothing he could have done about it.
Yeah, that's why I thought I was dead there, because I didn't like my movement. But we made it through. Alright, we're going to try something stupid here. I'm going to try to do a wall jump here in 6-9. So I have to hit a specific pixel, and I have 1 frame to jump in order to make it over the top. Normally, you'd use a P-wing to fly over this stage, but... Oh, I hit the pixel there. If Mario kind of stutters a little bit, that means I hit the right spot, but I didn't get the frame. This is kind of a backup that you have to do if you end up missing a P-wing somewhere throughout the run. So it does happen occasionally.
Or you can do 610 fire route, which is incredibly stupid. Don't do that. It's like 6 seconds slower and probably the hardest strat in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most difficult. Oh, I hit the pixel again. I usually hit the pixel more often than this. I'm not jumping from a good spot. There's a pretty good visual cue on the NES version that isn't here because the sprites are different. There it is. Alright, easy trick.
First try.
Oh. I hit the 1-up block. There we go. Okay, we're out.
There is a Koopa up there. As long as you don't scroll the screen up, he doesn't exist and can't hurt you.
Yeah, when I hit that 1-up block, I was right next to where the Koopa should have been, but he just wasn't there. So we're all good. Alright,
Yeah.
so I'm going to use my P-wing here, just because... Hello?
This
There we
game
go.
has a
Water
problem with
deflect
object
damage.
permanence. Like, if you can't see it, it just doesn't exist. Which is why fireballs don't work if you shoot them off the screen. And
So close. Tried to go for a floor clip there, but it's sub-pixel dependent. Very difficult to do. Swag has been very low in SMB3 this run. It's unfortunate.
It's All-Stars. So
That's
it's
true. I don't feel as bad about it.
fine. There's not as much swag that you can do. Like, you can't. There's no like janky colored blocks that you can make.
That's true. That's true. All right. There's a pretty difficult jump here in the World 6 airship. It's one of the
Shout out to
few.
NES overscan making auto scrollers fun.
This is like the one auto scroller you have to actually kind of pay attention to.
Oh wait, are you going for that jump?
Yeah.
Wait,
Got to,
Ameri-
man.
Oof,
Got to
I
go
don't.
for it.
That's risky in a marathon, but I mean, you do you.
Oh no. Alright, we're good. Got him.
Be sure to jump immediately, otherwise.
Yeah, the death plane on All Stars is actually a little bit higher up than it is on NES. So when doing that troll jump once, I stood too long on that platform and actually died anyways. It was not cool.
It was really amusing because you got the oh no oh
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I died, and then I actually died.
oh yeah, the very sarcastic oh no I died oh wait.
I actually died. Alright, rolling into my boy Lemmy. You know, he's cool as a cucumber this time. No Lemmy shakes to bless the run. Oh, he had some shakes at the end there. Alright, run is blessed.
All right, first try 7-1. Set up your sub-pixel.
Tried. Very important that I maintain my big at the end of this stage, as that will allow me to go for a clip. beginning of 7-1. What is okay? Can we talk about the World 6 King? What is going on with that guy? Is that hair? Is that hair on the side of his head next to the crown? I don't know what's going on with him. That guy's always weirded me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Wow, man, are you like really? That's.
I'm just saying he looks weird. I don't care if he's
Wow.
royalty. He looks weird.
That's rude. Okay. He has a condition. Okay.
I didn't know, man. All right, getting sub pixeled a couple times here. Oh.
Yeah, so the best way we have new players ask all the time, what's the deal with 7-1? I can't seem to get it. So here is Losso's quick and easy guide to 7-1 clip. You bash your head into the wall, and eventually the game takes pity on you and lets you through.
Okay, these are bad attempts now. Ah.
So yeah, basically what Glib's trying to
There
do is
it
get
is.
Mario's head stuck in the wall here. And Mario gets stuck in the wall and the game basically is programmed that like if Mario's in a wall, to keep him from getting stuck, just pushes him to the right until he is unstuck.
Right.
So you'll see that happen even if you were to just duck under a one tile block as Big Mario and stand up, you'll get the same thing happen.
This is going very poorly.
Ooh, 7-2. Yeah, 7-2 is a really like the P speed setup for 7-2 can be really troll sometimes.
Finally got it. Okay. Okay, this is a very good video game. I'm really glad that I'm playing it.
Oh no. At least it happened there and not the pipe before the big jump. Because I've had that happen on good pace.
Yeah, I've had that happen before too. So I completely messed that up. I didn't buffer my jump at the right time. So I was trying to avoid... Oops, I went back down in here. I was trying to avoid doing this where I have to go down in here, hit these music block notes, and then go back around. You can do that if you have P-speed, or if you have like a tail to float over it, but it didn't work out. Hello? Up pipes, please. But hey, here we go.
Actually impossible. No one's ever been able to go up a pipe before.
Yeah. It's a darn shame, honestly. Alright, taking damage there doesn't really matter. 7-3 plays the same, basically, whether you're small or big. And
no one has
one's ever died in
7-3. 7-3,
Well,
ever. Especially not at a big relay
Nope.
at a GDQ or anything like that.
Nope.
Totally didn't happen. Like
It didn't happen because Notch donated $10,000 right at that moment, so nobody
Yeah.
noticed I died.
Yeah.
See, easy stage, dude. Can't possibly mess it up.
No one has ever died there.
Can't even possibly mess it up. Alright. Another bad stage right there, 7-4. Underwater auto-scroller. You don't want to play it if you don't have to, so we're just going to cloud right over it. And we're going to start using a couple P-Wings for the next stages, because it's faster to fly up them. 7-6 is kind of a puzzle fort where you have to find a Tanuki suit somewhere in the stage if you don't enter with any ways to fly. But since we got some P-Wings, it's nice and easy.
Yeah, it's a very open, empty dungeon, and you notice that like you only have 200 in-game seconds, and those stages give you 300.
Yeah.
So you are like, at least casually, you kind of feel rushed, and you have to find this hidden Tanuki suit. Like, because that's all that's in here is a Tanuki suit and a Boom Boom. Like that's all that's in that fortress.
7-6, like 6-9 stage, you can just nice and easy fly over, which is actually pretty good because that stage is not fun to do. It's the stage that has the arrow lifts that you have to like move around and stuff, and it's not fun.
Yeah, it's much like 7-1. It's also possible to clip there, but it's actually slower. Even first try clip is still slower than P-winging over.
Yeah.
So. So yeah, Glib using a star here at the beginning of the stage. Another stage that kind of pushes the P-speed limits of the tail, like, well, to its limits. Really nice way to again show off kind of how long you can keep P-speed with the tail. Again, taking an intentional hit there at the end. I'm assuming you're gonna go first. Yeah, you're doing
7-9 clips.
So from here on, there are three different routes, I guess. There's three. So you have one cloud, basically. You can either skip 7-9, you can skip 7-4-2, or you can skip 8-fort. 8-fort is the fastest, but also the riskiest. Skipping 7-4-2 is the slowest, but also the safest. So
that and you get to do swag 7-9 clips. Those were actually pretty okay. I got stuck in baby jail a little bit at the end, but overall pretty good.
I mean, you also get to do swag 7-9 clips if you skip 8.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you skip 8 fortress. Yeah, there's shoutouts to Yoshi. Just showing up. All right, but we're rolling into the World 7 airship. This is actually the longest stage in the game. Even though this auto-scroller moves at the normal pace, it's just a slight bit more than twice as long as the World 4 airship. So it does end up being the longest stage in the game. The nice thing about it, though, if you're doing fire routes, is that there are 2 power-ups on this airship, and both of them contain fire flowers if you're Big Mario. So no matter what, no matter how you come into this stage, you can always get yourself to a fire flower if you need to.
Yep. But yeah, it's the only airship in the game that I believe it's the only airship in the game that has 2 power-ups, period, let alone both of them being a fire flower.
The World 4 has 2. One of them is one of them's at the very end.
After, yeah, that's right. It has
after
one
the pipe.
Yep, I forgot about that. But those are both tails either anyway as well.
Yeah. So slight difference here between the NES and All-Stars version. Normally that Rocky Wrench on the right just will not spawn on NES. But since there isn't a sprite limit, or isn't as much of a sprite limit to hit, he spawns all the time on All-Stars. So if you've been playing NES a lot, sometimes he just pops up and you're not ready for him. Alright, so Ludwig, like Roy, can stomp the ground when you jump on him.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's a little bit more aggressive, but he was pretty nice there, so. Nice. It's an easy kill.
There's a lot of product in that hair, man. Like, there's a lot of weight coming down.
Alright, we're done with the airships, and I know what you're saying. Oh darn, all the auto-scrollers are done. But don't worry.
That was a hot 2.5 minute auto-scroller, Glib. I don't know if I'm ready for it to be over.
Oh, don't worry. The next 2 stages, the tanks and the boats, are both auto-scrollers.
Oh boy.
So here we go. So, the only real thing you can do in this auto-scroller to save time, at least it's up to you, is deal with some bombs in the middle of it so that there isn't any lag. But again, this is All-Stars, so that lag doesn't even exist. So there's really nothing you can do. You just gotta pay attention and not take a hit.
Yeah, it is, I guess, I mean, since we have nothing else to talk about,
sure.
It is worth noting that there's nothing random about auto scrollers, airships, or the tanks or whatever.
Right.
The bullet bills fire depending on how close Mario is to them. And the bomb launchers, the cannonballs, and the flamethrowers all fire just depending on basically a timer that runs in the stage. So as long as you do the same thing every time, like you won't have any problems getting through. Like you'll get the same patterns every single time.
Right. Yeah, you pretty much just have to go through it once to see what works, and then you can do that exact same thing every time you're in the stage.
Yep. Also, don't jump on a bomb the frame it stops moving.
That's right. We saw that. There was somebody had posted a video.
Who was which Japanese? I apologize. I don't remember.
I can't remember who it was. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember who it was. Just posted a video on Twitter, just like, what?
Yeah, they jumped on the bomb like as it had stopped moving, and it actually like moved the explosion from a different bomb over to where they were, and it hit them immediately. And was not good.
It basically causes the bomb to just explode immediately and aggressively.
Yeah. It was one of the Japanese runners that does All Stars. I can't not remember who it was off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but there's a couple of really good Japanese runners of All Stars. Like we mentioned, most of the Japanese runners do SMB3 on All Stars as opposed to on the NES version or the Famicom version over there. So there's quite a few All Stars runners that are pretty good. I think almost all the categories, the world records, are held by Japanese runners. So shout outs to the Japan community.
Yeah, and I mean they are, if you account for the version differences, they are, I mean they're neck and neck with, like if they switched and learned to NES, they would be in contention for like,
yeah, definitely,
world record for NES as well. So like it's not like you know they're playing on a worse console or a worse edition, but like they're also like, no, they're actually like, they're really freaking good at the game.
All right, we're rolling into the hands here. There's a 50-50 shot for these next 3 levels of whether or not I'll have to play them, and it's not up to me at all. And of course we get grabbed by the first hand, because that one's actually 95% to get grabbed.
Cab!
Mr. Cab is laughing somewhere.
Cab must be here. First hand is also, so it's one, the slowest, and also just the worst. Like,
yeah, it's one of the worst ones to have to play.
It's just not appealing to play.
All right, we only got one though, so that's fine. You take those.
Yeah, that's not bad. Each hand is about 20 seconds.
Yeah, they're all pretty close in terms of how long they take. So.
Yeah, they're anywhere. I want to say it's like 19 to 22 seconds.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
If not, it's very close. So yeah, you can, in a Warpless run, you can actually have it cost you like more than a minute versus getting no hands. And a lot of the top runners in that category pretty much have to rely on getting no hands in World 8. Otherwise, they probably aren't going to be able to get PBs. So it's a nice little dice roll at the very end of a 50-minute category.
50 minutes in, like it's only, 5 minutes left of the category. Like the last 5 minutes of the run. Like it's fine. It's no big deal. Honestly.
Great speed game. Play it today.
I mean, do that, but play Hundo.
Alright, so now we're moving into the kind of meat and potatoes of World 8. 8-1, 8-2, and 8F are some of the most difficult stages to run.
Hey, don't forget fireballs disappear.
I have to do a little bit of a different strat here, because normally I would shoot a fireball at that nerd, or at this nerd over here, and just kill him, but that wouldn't work, so we're just going to take it safe there so I can hang on to my fire flower. That's kind of the overall goal here. What is going on? Alright, we just got to go slow because I'm dumb. Just keeping this bullet bill on screen for no reason.
You're despawning. You're just gonna
despawning. Yeah. Just I despawned that other piranha plant. It's all good.
Piranha plant.
All a part of the plan, everybody. Definitely knew what I was doing.
Completely calculated.
I thought I was dead. Alright, whatever. We lost speed on the climb up, but we'll take that. And I also didn't jump at the right time, but luckily that works out. They just bounced off the Koopa. Okay, we're at 8-2. That was a little scary.
That might be my favorite thing in the game. Is just like, oh, I didn't jump. Okay, there's a Koopa here. I'm fine.
That's right. I forgot I got an extra star. I don't know where I would have used it though, to be honest. So it's okay. Yo, second room front flips. That's pretty solid to get on All Stars. Alright, so I'm gonna try to hit this P-switch and go all the way to the end of the stage in time to catch the door and not have to hit another one. Like stars, P-switch timers run out while you're inside doors, so that's a much tighter window than it is on NES, and it's a tight window to begin with, so you have to have pretty clean movement to make it.
And they also moved the, there's also a backup, like, swag clip. If you missed it, you can at least, like, look cool. But they moved where the door entrance is, so you can't even do that on All Stars.
Alright, we're going on to the last auto-scroller of the game, the Super Tanks. And this is the easiest stage in the game. I know I mentioned a couple other easy stages. This one's actually the easiest. The only thing you have to do is hold right, shoot your fireballs, you know, just like a nice easy pattern like I'm doing right now. And anytime it looks like you gotta jump, you just jump. And nothing bad will happen to you, and you'll never lose your run.
The world famous, patented,
that's true,
day one affiliate.
That is, yeah, that happened.
Aweglib,
that's
Super
me.
Tank strat.
That's the level.
TM,
yeah,
with a vengeance.
Yeah, don't let anybody try to tell you they came up with this strat before me, because they didn't. I checked the tape. This is my strat. I've done very, very little for this game, so gosh darn it, I'm gonna take credit for this auto-scroller strat.
You named one trick.
I named a trick, I came up with a strat.
One auto-scroller strat.
No, I have Red Rocket too.
Oh, that's right. You have the strat that you refuse
that I don't do, because it barely saves any time and I'm not good enough at it to do it. But I invented it.
Shoutouts to Frog Percent. Never would have imagined that would lead to actual strats.
Yeah, you're welcome. Alright, so moving into Bowser's Castle, the last stage of this game, the last stage of the entire run. Wow. Here we are. I'm gonna try and keep this Fire Flower all the way to the Bowser, and we get a very easy clip, never mess it up. And use 35 fireballs to take him out. The All-Stars kill is a little trickier than it is on NES. A lot of it has to do with how Bowser's hitbox works. So I don't know for sure if I'm gonna get it. Like I could pretty much not guarantee it, but be pretty confident on NES with it. I didn't keep my speed, but on All-Stars it's kind of a crapshoot. So we'll see what happens here.
Didn't go for the best clip in the game that loses like 15 seconds. There's a clip that's possible to skip that last room, that lava room, just take you right into Bowser's, into this Bowser fight. But yeah,
Alright, we got
it's super long and slow, but it looks really cool.
If you have better mashing, you can do what is basically the normal strat there, but my mashing is just terrible. So I have to kind of make things happen to get that. But time's coming up when I enter this door. Time.
Yo, nice run. You did okay.
I beat the estimate. I didn't think that was going to happen, to be honest.
you beat the video games, for sure.
So that wasn't the best SMB3, but 1, 2J were both really good, and 2U was fair. So that's the real difficulty of running this, is that you have 4 different games with a ton of different physics, all happening all at once. So to get good runs in all 4 of them is very, very difficult to do, especially when you're doing it back to back to back to back. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to do this. Thanks for having me. Hope you all had a good time. And if you like this SMB3 run, don't worry. Later on tonight, I will be racing my partner in crime here, Lasso, in a category of your choosing.
Hi, that's me.
Yeah, there's a bid war going on. I believe 100% is in the lead. But if you want to see this category again, if you want to see Warpless, get your money in for that as well. So, but yeah, I think with that, that's going to be it. And thanks again for watching, everybody. Rolling out.
Rolling out.
All right.